we doing, everyone? Welcome. 10 seconds are we and into this. Happy Friday to everyone in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Let's get into this. So how are we doing, everyone? First of all, as always, happy Friday. It's a great day for the Green family because it's my little boy's birthday and he is buzzing. So a big shout out to my little man on his birthday and a big shout out to everyone in the chat again. I'm doing it at this time because of my son's birthday. However, we're going to experiment a little bit and then we'll see where we go forward with the timings. I know 4:30 is a little bit complicated for some people because they're on the way from work. It depends on where they are on the globe. And also lunchtime UK could also be a little bit of a hindrance. But, we will do what we can and what obviously suits everyone. I know some people may be on the dinner break now. Some people may have got up and some people may be going to bed. So, if you don't get the live, make sure you catch up, hit the like and hit the subscribe. And we're growing slowly, but the last month or so, we've had a little spike. So, we're going to get to that time of the year and I believe YouTube's going to find this gem in our community and we're going to fly next year. I can tell you that, people. So appreciate the well wishes and the messages from all of you for my son. Absolutely love that. He'll buzz that. He's at school at the minute, but he'll absolutely love that everyone. I'll tell him that everyone in the community has wished him happy birthday. And again, I hope everyone has had a great week. It is a Friday, so you know what they say, happy Friday. Make sure the weekend counts. Remember, champions are made on a Friday. That is for sure. Champions are made on a Friday because we have to make the right decisions over the weekend and hit the week next week. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We've got a huge game, in my opinion, to go over this weekend. A huge game. But first of all, let me see who's in the chat. And then we can start from there. So Jack, as always, he is in the chat. He's saying, happy Friday, people. Mayamino is saying, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you had a great day. Let's get into it. Josh is saying, big up, Fran, big up yourself. Abdi is saying, happy Friday, everyone. Hope you all had a great weekend. Also, a very happy Human Rights Day to all. Yeah, I forgot about mentioning that. Happy Human Rights, even though it's not, how can I put it? Celebrated across the world as much as we are the lucky that we are when we live at certain places in the world as well. Happy birthday to the little man. Everyone's saying, large up the young kid. Love it. Happy birthday, son. Ashley saying happy birthday. Grant, everyone. Now, Mari is saying, happy birthday, little one. 8 a.m. here in the US. Nice. Start your day with a little stream, which is good. Happy birthday to your son. Everyone's saying happy birthday. Shalom, Terence. Hope you are well. Shalom. We've got a Christmas church service on Sunday as well, which will be good. So shalom to you and the family as well. Mario's in the building and he is saying, saw you at Curtis Shaw TV. You were right. Some fans are deluded. Our game sucks. It sure does, people. It sure does. Terence is saying happy human rights is not a thing. Yeah, we know, with that. And this is the righteous time, Fran, as Farran21 is saying. Two right there. Many haps to the young man. Curved glass, great support as always, and Static in the building as well. Great to see, even though the time has changed, the usual suspects in the chat, and I'm sure we'll get plenty of new ones in the day because of the time difference, etc. But we all know, people, we all know that this weekend is a very, very important game. Very, very important game. Let's not beat around the bush. We cannot afford to lose this. And the stats and everything goes for us. That is for sure. Everything goes for us. It will be first time that we would have won our 4th consecutive home game if we manage to get the win in about a year. And when it comes to stats, there's a few things that we'll touch into. But first of all, I put something in the polls. Because I know, polls are, sometimes we use them, sometimes they don't. But with the polls, do you start Aubameyang? Do you start Aubameyang in this game? I believe he's fit. I believe a lot of them are fit, but we'll run over that. But do you start Aubameyang in this game? Let me know, people. That is for sure. Mario also says, Fran, do you agree that we need a player like my countryman Kovacic? Listen, we need ball players, and he's a ball player. That is for sure. He is definitely a ball player, and we need ball players. You can see in our midfield we are just scarce in the middle of the park. We look terrible in the middle of the park, and we've got Ødegaard who's decent on the ball, but he's not a whiz kid. He's decent on the ball. He's decent enough. And then we've got Partey, who is struggling at the moment. We just need that one more. We need that one other someone alongside Partey that can shore it up a little bit. And I think we'll be all right. But I think we should go for 2 in case we get injuries. And that's what we need. A lot of people are saying, no, not for me. Abba, Craig is saying it's a no for me to start Aubameyang. Miyamino is saying I'd start Aubameyang, to be honest. We lack options, no choice. That's the only thing that's keeping him in the team, I believe. Statics put Fran, Arsenal cannot afford to draw this game as well. We cannot underestimate Hazelhut at all. He'll definitely go for it and win the game, or at least a draw. Interesting. We need a Modric type. Oh, listen, don't we all need a Modric type? Hey, don't we all? Lacopa has put, bigger picture is we need to get rid of Arteta. If we finish 8th or 15th, it does not matter to me. Listen, we need to get rid of him. We know that, but he's not going nowhere at the moment. That is for sure. King's in the building, as always. Lovely support. Great support. Hope you are well. Hope new baby is obviously going well, King. Big up, Fran. Happy birthday to to your son. Appreciate that. And Curved Glass has also put, I'd start him so he doesn't throw a moody and upset the mood of the team. Big baby. And that's what I believe. He's one of those characters. He's one of those characters. Very, very influential. Let me see if is the lighting okay? Is the lighting okay? Yeah. Yeah, lighting's okay. He's one of those that was very influential in the dressing room. So I don't think you can afford to drop him. 1, I don't know who you're going to play instead. I really, really don't. And 2, he's an influence around the dressing room. There could be a big problem. Could be. Justin saying, start Abba. If he's not working after the first half, swap him the second half. Good game for Pepe. Maybe to come in later on as well. That's what we will ask later on as well. Happy birthday to the little you, Justin is saying. Naimari is saying, start Abba. Doesn't matter who starts. Jack is also saying, I can't start him when he's missing constantly from 3 yards. And as Social, as always, in the building, Social says, smash the like button. Peeps, smash the like. By the way, last 2 streams, we've smashed straight through 100 likes. So we are on our way, people. We are on our way. The hard work will continue, and we will keep going. That is for sure. As a channel, we've got 2022. I'm trying to get a lot of stuff, some other stuff going on, which will be related to the channel, etc. And we'll just keep building. We just keep building, people. We just keep building. So let's get into a few things. Head to head. Now, head to head, Arsenal have gone 26 home games without defeat against Southampton. 26. It's the longest unbeaten run against any single team that we've had. Okay? Against Fulham, which was 1949. Which is crazy. Now, Southampton's sequence of 22 winless Premier League matches at Arsenal is the longest by any club. The Saints have won just 2 of 44 games against Arsenal since 1987. So there's a lot where we can't be losing this game. We can't be losing this game anyway. However, when you see all these stats, and I know what people are going to say, this would be typical Arsenal to do all these stats, but I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to win, but it's a performance that I want. It's a performance, but this is the same old Arsenal, people. This is the same old Arsenal. Now, when it comes to us playing, Arsenal have lost consecutive Premier League matches when scoring the opening goal for the first time in 5 years. So that's another stat. So the last 2 games, we've scored first and lost both games. It's the first time that it's happened in 5 years. That tells me a lot about the character. A lot about the character. Now, I think we'll bounce back, of course. But that's concerning to me when it comes to the mindset of the players. However, we move on. And we're striving for our 4th successive home win, as you know, in a row. Arteta's side could triumph in 3 league fixtures at the Emirates without conceding for the first time. So the good thing is we've not conceded. This could be our 3rd game without conceding. Okay, the Gunners have won 7 of their past 8 home matches in all competitions, so we're very, very good at home at the moment. Albeit we ain't played no one great, I could tell you that. I can really tell you that. And then we go on to, like you're saying, obviously Aubameyang has gone 6 consecutive league appearances without scoring for the first time since a run of 14, which was at Borussia Dortmund. This is the longest spell that he has gone without scoring since he was at Dortmund. That's another concern. Very, very, very another big concern for me. Josh is saying, got to dark because of work now, Fran. No, listen, hit the like, do your work, enjoy the Friday, and do your thing. Appreciate it as always, Josh. Great support. Now, Southampton. When we talk about Southampton, Southampton have dropped 71 points from winning positions since December 2018. All 3 of their league wins this season were 1-0 scoreline. They don't score goals. Saints have lost 14 away games since 2021. They have suffered an unrivaled 20 league defeats in 2021. Southampton are 1 short of 1,000 away defeat games. So a little bit of history. We can obviously put it on there. First fixture, to be fair, Hustle, first victory as Southampton was a 3-2 win against Arsenal. However, I am not worried about them at all. Big shout out to Craig as always. Let me click on the super chat. Big shout, I say, just a little something for the birthday boy. Yeah, really appreciate that. He'll love off that. I'm sure he'll get something Mario. You just want Mario all the time. He's Mario obsessed, so nothing wrong with that. I think I was Mario obsessed as well, but mine was the NES 8-bit. Worst game ever when you look back at it, but wow, it gave me some joy. You couldn't even pause it. I think you had to keep it on all night because it wouldn't save. But big shout out to Craig for giving the little man a present. I'll tell him that you sent him a little super chat, and I'm sure we'll get something with that for him. To be honest, we'll get something for that once YouTube, rob his money. The SNES, that was after I had the NES. The Super Nintendo was Mario Kart settings. Don't I just get excited with Mario Kart. What a game. What a game. I think Akuna Matata is in the building. He's saying, why are you Arsenal fan? Why am I Arsenal? So I'm going to, without Jackanory time, I remember being Liverpool because of John Barnes. And when you're a kid, you support everyone. And I got into football quite late. I was like 8 or 9, something like that. Didn't really like it. I liked the NFL when I was a kid. No idea why, but I loved it. My bedroom was NFL. And it was the 89 game. I watched the 89 game. There's all this buzz around it. Arsenal going to Liverpool. And then they kind of got me in. And then obviously Wright came along and that. And then just been Arsenal. Just been Arsenal since then. And then obviously the rivalry when I had Man United, when I was playing, it was just then on Henry and just continued to be Arsenal. So that's why it was that game and Ian Wright, to be honest. It was that game and Ian Wright. Alan's in the building, he's saying, what's up, friend? Keep Abra on the bench and take his medicine, but Eddie cannot be anywhere near the squad. Static saying the NES, respect man, the NES makes me sound really old. Josh Bumber saying, I'm late. Listen, don't ever apologize for being late. You've took the time out. You're here now. Enjoy. Simon's in the building. Say big up, Fran. Ashley saying Game Boy Mario. Rocastle, Wright, Davis, Michael Thomas. It was just unbelievable that moment. Should we go for Martial? I'd go for Martial all day, Jesus. A lot of people think maybe not, but I just think he needs an arm around him like Lingard, and I think you can get some out of him. We're not in a position to be turning players down like a Martial, a Sterling, a Wijnaldum. They're better than what we have. Martial, some would say, but Fran, he's not really produced. Is he another Pepe? Is he built for this? Is he moody? Are you going to get work rate out of him? But I believe he still works hard. Just not happy with what's going on. He did have off-field problems, I believe, with his partner, ex-wife to be, came very young. I would definitely go for him if we get him at the right price. What I don't like at the moment, people, I've got to be honest, and I thought about this the other day when we was talking about these free agents. We were talking about these free agents. And I think Curtis was mentioning it the other day, and a few people, and I didn't really think about it. And we were saying, yeah, we'll pay in installments. We'll pay in installments. But as for the wages, we pay big wages. And it started to dawn on me that we've had a problem with paying big wages. So maybe we shouldn't be doing that anymore, because we're clearly overpaying players to get them, and they're not worth it. So it's all right saying Dembele might cost nothing, but we'll give him 200 grand a week. I don't think that's the right model. Now, I know we have to pay the money to get the right player, but when a player's on a free, unless he's running his contract down, and then we give him a stupid amount of money, he's going to use us because he knows he's going to use other clubs. Are we being lackadaisy and a little bit stupid when it comes to paying these players way too much money? The reason we got Partey is because we quadrupled his money. No one else was going to give him that. So maybe we need to start thinking, maybe that's not the way to go about things. Just throwing cash. It's like a non-league club when they're trying to get in the league. I remember I signed for a non-league club when I retired full time. At 31, they gave me more money than the league club. And then it didn't work out. They had to pay me up. They had to pay 3 other players up. Lost all that money. So maybe we need to start looking at things a little bit different. Really, really do. Won't work under Arteta. And Sean's bang on. I don't think it would work under Arteta. I really, really don't, people. Do you think it would work? I just can't see it, because he's nullifying so many people with talent. I don't think it would work. Don't think it would work. Me and Mina saying, you're right, Fran. We can be a little snobby sometimes. Wijnaldum, Sterling, Martial, bring them all to the carpet. I'm desperate. Those players would completely change our team. Completely change our team. And what... Gunnar Vettel's in the building, said, hey, Fran, good to see. JJ saying, true, Fran. Terence is just saying, just before I move on, did Chelsea steal a generation of black football fans from us when they improved and we declined? You make a good point. If you go back to maybe a lot of the African nations, because they signed a lot of African players, did a lot of Arsenal fans, because it's crazy what I'm going to say, but when I was a kid, a lot of the black community were Arsenal fans. You didn't really hear them speak about any other. So it's a subject maybe that, we could touch on. It's a good point. Martial is like Pepe, Fran. He's just not made of the right stuff, and attitude stinks. Stay well clear. I get what you're saying. I really do understand that. But people probably would have said that about Lingard, and all it was taking was an arm around him. But I do get your point. This is a very, very, very good comment. You can't buy heart. I like that. I think I'm going to use that on Green Mind, the personal channel. If you've not checked out the personal channel, which is really helping people, a little bit of shilling here, make sure you go and check that out. It's in the description. All right. And we have a little chat on a Sunday before the week. But you can't buy heart. I mean, bang on. I think we're overpaying players. And then we're having a problem at the end of it because no one else is going to take them. So they just see their contract out. Jack said they are level above the players that we have now. Marco saying, morning, Fran. Morning, Marco. Hope you are well. And the British youth. It's a good debate, that. Jesus is saying, counter argument to that is that when we don't cough out the money and wages for big players, people will say we're not acting like a big club. And that is bang on what fans will say. That's what fans will say. So you're in a catch-22. You're in a big catch-22 because you want to get the players. And people, if it comes out that we lost, to say for example, we lost a Kessie because Man United offered him 15 grand more. Fans would turn around and say, why didn't we give him 15 grand more? However, we're winning because we're paying ridiculous amounts in wages to try and seal deals. Munz is in the building. He's saying, oi. Sentiments in the building say we have to pay more because Arteta is not attracting prospects and we are floundering. I get it that we've got to pay more, but are we paying more for the wrong players? My score prediction stat, it will probably go into it towards the end. Gunnar said, would you take Richarlison, Fran, as we are pretty heavily linked with right now? Listen, I like Richarlison. He's very moody, though. Very moody. He's like a little spoilt brat. Nothing wrong with that. He wants to win. And sometimes he just I'm just going back to when I was playing. You need channeling on how to You need to educate on how to channel that frustration that you really want to do well, because it actually affects your game in a negative way. I think that's with Richarlison. The way he played against us the other day, probably played like that because he wants to move to Arsenal. Because we could get him. We could get Richarlison. I truly believe we could get Richarlison. Remember, I think Barcelona or Madrid bidded like 100 million for him, you know? Morning, buddy. It's nice looking down on Arsenal. Hey, listen, you just chirp down. Things change very quickly. Lacopo has put, I want to sign Noon to solve nothing. Total breakdown on Arteta's no one. And maybe in years we can be a serious team again. Good evening. Tubbs is saying good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. Big up Fran in the chat. That guy D. Morning. Arsenal South Africa's in the building saying morning, Fran. Been a while since I've been able to catch up the stream. Big up yourself. It's Friday. Yeah, well, we slightly change the time because we're just going to see which time works best, but I am kind of feeling this 1:30 time. I really kind of like it. I've got to be honest, I am feeling it. Few people won't be happy, I understand, but I am feeling this time. I feel a lot brighter. I feel this is where the energy is. If you want to see me chilled, a bit more serious, Green Mind is the one, but this is where I bring the energy. This is my love, this is my passion, this is where we get the energy, people. Good energy. How can we put pressure on the board to sack Arteta? Let's all walk out from the stadium. People just won't do it. That's the problem. But Fftv, that's the problem. People just won't do it because they see it as a day out. And football is very, very different now. Very, very different. And Justin is saying, Rich would be massive, Richarlison, but we need a manager to manage him. Arteta didn't really sort out Pepe. This is the wrong manager for that. And a massive shout out, huge support as always. Comes on the show, very well educated when it comes to the game. King has dropped a nice one for the son, absolutely unbelievable. He said, happy birthday to Fran Jr. Wish you all the best in the world. And such kind words and nice. And like I always say, people, might sound cliche, but we live in a time at the moment where the pennies can be a little bit hard to keep or get. So I appreciate that. And King, massive shout out to you. Massive shout out to you and the family and the newborn. As you say, blessings to you and the family. Now, so many other comments. Jashar's in the building. Sentiments are saying, big up Fran, looking dapper. I've had to shave the ear because we've got church service on Sunday. And I actually am doing the radio tomorrow for Peterborough. And the wife just says, Fran, come on, you got to shave your head. And you know, wife's the boss in this house, people. I'm not going to sit on here and say I'm the man around here, even though I am. But, if she's listening, the wife's the boss. So, but big shout out for the super chat, King. It means a lot. And the little man will be absolutely buzzing now. Hey, listen, he's got 2 super chats. It should be his birthday more often. There you go, people. I'm on that relationship building now, Terence. It's going well. It's going well. And Peter must say, Fran, we've simply been in the same place for way too long. I want Arteta to do well, but he's not the guy. And I fully agree. I fully agree, people. I just don't think he's the guy. So let's go into the game. The game. It's a normal time kickoff. It's a Saturday. We're playing at home. We do okay at home. No real injuries. Now, ESR did miss the other game. Apparently, I think it was a tweaked groin, because a lot of people obviously were a little bit surprised of what was going on there. I think if he's fit, he's going to be back in. I've got to be honest, to bring the energy for what we need. And that's probably the only one. Now, Martinelli is available, apparently, despite obviously having a little hamstring problem. I would start Martinelli again. I think it was a tough evening for him because the team wasn't fluid, even though Ødegaard played well, which, you know what, I've got to be honest, surprises me that Ødegaard played well that game, yet Arsenal were terrible, because I've always said that Ødegaard only really plays well when Arsenal do well. It was actually the opposite, which surprised me, and we learn something new every day, people. We really, really do. So, only thing is, ESR, I think, is the one who's going to be hopefully back in, because they have lost. So it's every reason to throw him back in into the building. No, she's not. She's watching some other YouTube stuff and doing her hair. So, she ain't bothered about turning us off today. It's a Friday. She must be in a happy mood. So we've not got anything injuries, and they need a performance. They need a performance because we've been on this run. And I always say, and a lot of you always say in the community, it can change very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. And we've seen all of a sudden now, the knives are out, the daggers are out, everyone's coming out. Arteta's not this, he needs to get out. We always knew that all along, but you can't really say much when it's going on. You can't really say much when he's doing okay and he's limping, and you don't want to be hammering them when they're positive. You don't want to be, when they're winning games, you don't want to be hammering them when it's not really warrant. But as the top man, as me and Curtis always say, big shout out to Kurt for the blessings. I really do appreciate that. As me and Curtis say, polyfiller settings, it can smooth over the core problems. And I think a lot of people in the Curtis's community, and most of you are from that community, you know where we come from. You know that we don't really want to go ham on him when they're doing okay because it's not fair. However, when we can clearly see that there's a problem, and then polyfiller dries and cracks, we can start to see what's actually going on. So big shout out to Curtis. I'm just saying, Curtis, listen, it might have to be one of the kids' birthdays every day. Everyone's generous. Everyone must be in a good mood. That's for sure. But again, Kurt, really do appreciate that. Big shout out to you. And I know everyone in the community will probably be watching you later on today. And I will be tuning in as well just before the school run. So if anyone is not from Curtis's channel, as you know, Curtis is, for me, listen, I'm older than Curtis. Curtis is younger than me. And I would say probably I've shown him a few things on the pitch, but he's showing me a few things when it comes to YouTube. So big shout out to Curtis. If you've not already, make sure you go and hit Curtis's channel and that subscribe. And I'm sure 2022 will have a few jokes for you. That is for sure. We will have a few jokes for you. But big shout out to my boy Kurt. Big shout out. Big shout out. Gunnar saying big up Curtis. Alan saying a big up Curtis. Craig is saying big up. It's all good. Listen, it's definitely Ron's birthday. Weedy Marley's put Arteta needs to play 3-4-3 and stop trying to control possession. Our players suit counter, not control possession. Bang on. We definitely are not good enough in possession at the minute. Jack with a super chat as well. Also remember, he says might as well follow suit and add to the birthday pot. He's absolutely flying today on the birthday pot. Honestly, people, listen, it means a lot, and I will one day if the wife lets him on, I'll get him on, I'll get his face on here and say, here you are. Make sure you say thank you to the community because they are cutting shapes, that's for sure. Curtis don't like Chelsea supporters, laugh out loud. He don't like reading Chelsea comments. He probably gets that many comments, Chelsea, Australia. I'm telling you now that they go missing because Curtis has to put it on slow-mo. He has so many comments, so it's very hard for him to, but hey, listen, he loves everybody, that's for sure, but sometimes he has to stay true to the Reds during the streams, that is for sure. On Curved Glass, as always, massive support again, as said, for the little geezer as well. He's definitely getting some more Mario stuff, people. Definitely getting some more Mario, and it'll keep him quiet, that's for sure. That'll keep him quiet. Big up Munzi in the building, and Krabby saying big up Big C. You guys are doing well, love it. Big shout out to Kurt. He's leading the way for me, people, and I don't just say it because he's my good friend. I don't just say it because he's my good friend, but for me, he's leading the way. Kurt is leading the way when it comes to channels and content, and if I can learn from him, everyone can learn from him, etc. And we can all learn from each other, that is for sure. DJ Breezy say happy birthday to the kid. Big shout out to DJ Breezy as well. So again, ESR may be back. Martinelli looks like he's shaken off his little hamstring. Definitely a precaution while we brought him off, etc. And Smith Rowe may be back. Now, let's go on to Southampton before we go how we should be playing. They are in absolute all sorts. Absolute all sorts. Willie Caballero's probably going to get in because they've got injuries for fun when it comes to their goalkeeper. McCarthy, who's going to be out, who's been quite prominent for them. And then you've got Romeo, who is their middleman, their grafter, smashes people, trying to break things down with a little bit of quality. He is obviously suspended, and Salisu is obviously suspended as well. Badnarek is available. But Che Adams will be assessed before training. Now, me and Kurt know Che. He came through the non-league settings very similar to the clubs that we went through. The one where I started, Che Adams, and he's gone on and he's done absolutely spectacular. And he'll be looking, if he's fit, to make a point because, listen, everybody wants to play well when you're playing for a Southampton against Arsenal. Every young player wants to do well because why? Because they're trying to nick that move to Arsenal. They're trying to nick that move. So you got to be aware of Che. He does take risks and he will shoot from anywhere if he's got an opportunity. Now, the one to look out for me is Broja. On loan from Chelsea. Very, very good on the ball. I've got an eye for goal and can be very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. So we've got to look out for him. But we should be very comfortable because we should have the ball. Now, I know we're not great in possession, but at home, we should control the game against a Southampton team. I'm not sure who will play in the middle. I'm really, really not sure. And we'll move on to that in a minute. I'm really, really not sure who he will play in the middle. But what I am looking for is an enthusiastic, in-your-face performance. Because these players and this management should be embarrassed about what they are delivering at the moment. It's all right playing at home when everything's nice and everyone's in the stadium and you're all great and you swag in the changing rooms and it's all on the pitch and it's nice. It's easy to play well. It's easy to nick a win, but we need a performance. We need a performance that's going to try and convince people that Arteta is the man. I'm never going to get convinced. You know where I stand, and most people in our community are not. However, we know he's here at the moment for the long term. So we need a performance. What I do want to ask you people, before you go into what team you would play, Lee went on the Football Terrace, which was quite interesting. And he said that he wanted Arsenal to lose. And a lot of other Arsenal fans have not taken to this kindly, should I say, is probably, for want of a better word, kindly. Now, my standpoint on it is I get his point, but it still doesn't feel right or sound right to say that. What do you think? Would you take another 5 losses if Arteta was to get the sack? Would you? Be honest with yourself. Be honest. Would you? Would you take, what's his name? Lee Gunner said it. Went on the Football Terrace and said it. And he don't care, you know what it's like. But it's caused a bit of chaos. And he was saying he wants them to keep losing because it's the only way that this club are going to realise that Arteta is not the man. And I get his point. But he got a lot of stick for it from a lot of people. Because they were just looking at it, you should never wish that your team loses. But he's looking at the bigger picture. If you're honest with yourself, are you quite happy to just tick along and see what happens in the future with Arteta? Or would you say, no, I want to win. I want to lose the next 4 or 5 games. I want to go crazy. But that would then equal that the manager would get the sack, which is a crazy question. A lot of you are saying yes. A lot of you are saying yes. Now, I know a lot of you may not agree with certain other channels, but I think everybody, I always say you could probably learn off even if the people that you don't like. There's always something that you can learn, whether you don't want to be like that person or you do want to be that person. How would you go about it, people? A lot of you are saying yes. This is quite a realistic one. Stack is saying, Fran, yes, short-term pain, long-term gain. Can't put it any more simple than that, can you? Tubbs is saying, no, I used to watch Lee Gunner before, but no, he's over his head. Listen, Lee is Lee. Like you say, he's going to rub people up the wall the right way. It's just Lee is Lee. Okay, that's the way that he is. But it was interesting what he was saying. A lot of people did not like that. Not at all. Absolutely nothing will satisfy that guy. Listen, let's not go ham on him. Just using that as something what I seen yesterday. We can't be slandering people on the channel. You know how it goes. So my problem with Arteta is that he doesn't seem to learn and evolve. He just isn't cut out for this. I think that's a problem. We've got a problem where he doesn't learn. As a paying fan and not a plastic, I defend the right to say I hope we lose, but I think we'll win. Good point. King is saying he gets Lee's point in the long run. It's better for Arsenal to lose so Arteta can get the sack. Everyone can support Arsenal the way they want to be, but I don't think Arteta gets sacked even if we lose. I mean, that would be absolutely crazy if you went all that way and you didn't. And Arsenal South Africa saying, I take it, but who's the replacement about will be levels? Interesting. I mean, who would you get in? Who would you get in? Who could we afford? Do we completely get rid of this plan that we've got and bring someone else in? It's interesting. Will we see a style of play tomorrow? Will we? I think we'll press high. I think we'll press high. I think we're playing against the Southampton. I think we're at home, and I think we'll press high. But will we see a performance? Will we see a performance? Ten Hag and Overmars are being linked left, right and centre, but I'm sure they've signed new contracts. So how would we get them out? We'd have to pay an absolute fortune, which, by the way, if I am going to pay an absolute fortune on wages, I'm going to go for those two. But I just do not think that they are going to do anything when it comes to Arteta. And the biggest thing that we have with this Arteta, people, and I think everyone would agree with this, is we've asked an inexperienced rookie to be the head and the captain of a completely huge project for Arsenal Football Club. Huge. And I think that's the problem. I think that is the problem. I could tell you that for sure. King has also put, we had an owner who would sack a manager based on performances. We don't need more games to prove that Arteta is not the guy. That's all it is. And I just don't think we can see it. We've got people inexperienced people in positions that should be very, very experienced. That's the problem. I won't say it, but yeah, we are bottom of the food chain. We all know. And I think a lot of us would agree with maybe what certain people say, but we would have probably said it in a very, very different way. And just like Grant is saying, he agrees with 90% of what Lee says. He called out Arteta when he got the job and has predicted everything about Arteta since day one. And I think, by the way, a lot of it is correct. A lot of people just don't like the way that it is, and then other things around that. But I just thought I would touch on that because it's caused uproar. It really, really has caused uproar. That is for sure. So, another super chat. Absolutely unbelievable. Another super chat in the building. And it is Jolsey B has said, I hope you follow up on Laurie's offer to be the guest on Talk is Cheap podcast with Curtis and Laurie. It could be like Drake feature for Fftv. Well, first of all, as always, a super chat touches and warms my heart. I can tell you that for sure. And listen, we're working on something. It'll be great. It'll be good to get on there. It really, really would. I also know, like you say, a lot of people sometimes don't watch it, sometimes do. But I always say, just watch things that you can resonate to. And the number one rule is, if you don't like something, you don't have to watch it. And I learned that when I thought I had to read every book, and I read something, it says, you cannot like a book and put it down. So, but I hope so. I hope we can get something and try and get involved with some things and try and use mine and Curtis's kind of football analysis or experience that would help other people as well. And Terence is saying it's not the right moment. That's a very good point. You've got to make sure it's the right moment, because at the minute it could get ripped to shreds with the way that the fan base are. Ripped to shreds. P Trim, as I saying. But firstly, Jolsey B, that blessings to you and the family, that is for sure. Lawrence is saying, big up front, happy birthday to your son. I appreciate that. 55 in the chat, absolutely excellent today. P Trim has put, Fran, what qualities Arsenal as a big club? Please explain. We don't have any qualities at the big club at the moment. And I think that's why people are questioning the fact that will we drop out of this big six? Because if it continues, here's a question for you people. If it continues, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do, people. This is what I'm going to do. In fact, no. Where are we? Oh, we can't even do that. Is that there? Wow, interesting that a lot of you have said that you would not start Aubameyang. That is interesting. They may see an echo in the background, what I'm trying to do. Question in the poll for you people. Question in the poll for you. Are we still top 6 club? Are we still a top 6 club? Honest opinions. Let me know. Honest opinions. Are we still a top 6 club? Or are we just in there because of our history? And how long will that be, by the way? Fran, got to go. Another Zoom meeting. Blessings. Make sure you take care, Craig, and keep consistency with what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Stay consistent, brother, and blessings to you. Sean's put the right moment has already gone. Sacking this guy is long overdue. It really, really is. It really, really is. Weedy Marley has put people like cling on to the past so that the basis we are will always be a big club. History settings, only history settings. You cannot wish Arsenal to lose. I get that point. Chris is in the building. Chris has said there's not a good replacement available. If we switch it up now, we could find ourselves in the same place next year. Although he does need to be sacked. Good. That's the problem. Who do you get? Marshall's saying, what's good, Fran? Jack is also saying, considering we finished 8th 2 seasons in a row, it has to be a no. And that's what it is. Are we just a top 6 because, we're top 6? Other clubs must be thinking, well, how are you top 6 if you keep finishing out of the top 6? It's going to become a point. If we finish outside the top 6 this season, how are we a top 6 club? Financial reasons, like Sean was saying, status, shirt sales, financial reasons, yeah. Interesting. On and off the pitch, yes, the question is complex. So in terms of off fan base, global reach and trophy cabinet, we are big club and top 6, but finishing in the leagues would say no. I think that's what it is. Big 6 when it comes to trophies, histories, clout, finances, etc. Some would say yes. On the flip side, some would say, is that how you count big 6? Depending on what definition you're going to count it as, that's for sure. Krav, welcome to the membership. You are now F90. Welcome to the F90 club. Full 90, that's what it means, because we all want to be complete full 90. We do not want to get substituted off. So welcome to the F90 club. There you go, Krav. Welcome to the members. And we will be doing a members stream again next week. I will make sure you look in the chat. And welcome to the F90. We're getting a lot of stuff when it comes to F90. Members will get discount on things, but that's a few months in advance. Not even started working on it yet, but there will be website, etc., things like that for everybody. But members will get perks, etc. on that. But we're in the very early stages of that. But thank you for becoming a member, supporting the channel, and a big shout out and blessings to you and your family. So a lot of you still think that we are big 6. A lot of you still think that we are big 6. And I get the argument when it comes to finance, trophies, etc. Let's go on to the team, people. Who is your team? Who is your team for the Southampton? What changes? Because it's probably going to stay the same. We know that. What kind of team would you go for? Would you go for an all-out attacking? Would you go for conservative to try and get the win? What'd you go for? I'm going to tell you straight what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go, and this is my team. I'm going to go Ramsey in goal. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to go Tomiyasu. I'm going to go White. I'm going to go Gabby. And I'm going to go Tierney if he's fit, because he needs minutes. I'm going to go Partey, because I haven't got any other choice. I'm going to go... This is interesting for me. This is really, really interesting for me. Because I want to go all out attacking. I don't want to put Ødegaard next to Partey. I want to put Ødegaard there. But then I've got ESR as well. And I've got Martinelli. And I know what Saka's going to do at home. So, who do I put next to Partey? Because I don't think we're going to have to defend a lot. Big shout out to Sean, another super chat as well. Unbelievable. Say big up to the Ute on his birthday. More here for the Mario pot. There you go. Big Fran, we are rotten from top down. Kroenke out first, and the rest will follow. We're never going to get him out. The only problem is owners never get moved until they're ready. They never do. And the only way that would happen is if everybody stopped going to the games and it really hurt them. They've got a £700 million fine and there's still no hint that they would put it up for sale. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but I just can't see it. But again, massive thank you for the super chat. Justin makes a good point here. I don't think we should risk ESR. You know, you make a good point there. You make a good point. I think it's Xhaka again. I think they're going to go Xhaka again. I've got to be honest. I think they're going to go Xhaka again. I think they're going to go Ødegaard in top. So this is what I'm going to go for. Partey, Xhaka, because I thought Xhaka did okay. Got to be honest, he needs more minutes. Don't think he deserves to get dropped. Ødegaard is starting for me. Now it gets tricky, people. Now for me, it gets tricky. You know, King is saying Rambo, Turney, Ødegaard, and Gabby, Sambi. He's going Sambi. He's got Martinelli. He's got Pepe. He's got Balogun. ESR is a doubt. Saka is out of form. Interesting. Big changes there. Can't take that risk. He can't take that risk, King. I just can't see it. Up top, who are we going for? Are we making a statement or are we dropping Aubameyang? Or will he be saying, wait a minute, we lost. You didn't play me. It backfired. We lost. You need to get me back in this team. I actually think Aubameyang's going to go back in. I really do, people. I really, really do. But this is what I'm going to go for. So I'm going to go for the same back seven or whatever it was, okay? And I'm going to go for Martinelli, Pepe, and Aubameyang. That's what I'm going for. A few of you have already dropped off your feet like, Ross! Fran said Pepe. Seriously. I'm going to go Martinelli, Pepe, and Aubameyang. That ain't happening, people. That's not happening. I just don't think it's going to happen. But that's what I would go for. And I'm going to give you my reasoning why I would go for that. I think Pepe's frustrated. We may have wound him up. Pepe may now be wound up. And he now probably had... Jack saying, what, Pepe? I'm a dreaming. Fran said Pepe. He's now wound up. Maybe he's had a good conversation with his agent, and his agent said, the next time that you get an opportunity, you need to prove to everyone that you are not going to be held down. Normally, when you tell people that, and they're thinking, well, I'm just going to prove you wrong all the time, they forget about themselves. And he's going to play. But Gunavetta makes a good point. There is a rumour going around that if he plays 5 more games, we owe another instalment. That's how contracts work. I don't know if you ever can remember Premier League players where they literally, I've been at clubs where literally, if they play again, the manager that won't play the player because he owes the football club another payment, and they don't want to keep him. So he doesn't play. So I think it's unbelievable if we start to not see Pepe at all. That's the reason why. That will be the reason. And they'll be thinking, how can we get him out the door? Because we've had to pay another 5 million. Because if they sell him and get some money back from a payment, they're saving money. So it's huge business when it comes to that. So maybe we couldn't see him, but let me talk about why I think I would play him. Why are we even playing Partey? Listen, he's the best we got. As bad as he is, he's the best that we've got in the middle of the park. We get ran all over. We got ran all over. Rail did it with Beckham. There's been loads of stories. Josh has put, oh, that's disgusting. You made the deal play him. Listen, it happens all the time, people. All the time. If a club, they'll get it from the hierarchy. Listen, what's happening? What's happening? He's not playing. Arteta says he's just not the man. He's not part of what I want to do. They're saying, well, we owe Lille another 10 million payment. What's going to happen? He's going to need to play. We're paying 10 million next week or when he plays the 5 more games. What we're going to do? Leave him out, freeze him out, make him react so he does something wrong. So then we've got an excuse to get rid of him. This is what happens in football clubs. Make him train on his own. All these things eventually could come out. The minute that Pepe slips up, they've got him by the absolute nuts. Absolute nuts. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've witnessed it myself. Never happened to me because no one ever owed any money on me. So it was all right. They just used to put me with the youth, and I didn't want to tell you what happened. So one of the youth players, unfortunately, one of the youth players, which I'm not proud of, went home with quite a bad injury, and I weren't allowed to train with the youth. But that was then. But this is the kind of things that happen in football. What people don't know about. One Deviations put great points as always, Fran. To be fair, Pepe isn't even in top shop window to get sold with his lack of minutes. It's a joke. It is a joke. What are we going to do with this player if he does not play? What's going on with Coutinho at Barcelona? Maybe the same thing is going on with Coutinho. Do they owe money? They've got no money. Barcelona have no money to pay, maybe if they still owe money. It's just crazy. It really, really is. But I would play Pepe, and the reason that I would play Pepe is because we need him. Not because we need him to be doing things on the pitch all the time. We may need him on this bad run. Arteta may have to go to him if people get injured. So we've got to keep him. We've got to keep him sweet. We've got to keep it in him. But I think that he won't play him because this game is quite under pressure. This game's under pressure. Imagine we don't win this game, but this game is under pressure. Now, Martinelli, I believe, has earned the right to have a few more games, in my opinion. Sometimes he's a speedboat, no driver, but what he wonders, he shows me desire and he shows me he wants to play well for Arsenal Football Club. He's not shown any bad attitude. He's not sulked. Arteta's treated him like a kid. He's embarrassed him and he's not sulked. So for me, I'm starting Martinelli, Pepe, and the reason I'm starting Aubameyang is because I've got Martinelli and Pepe. So that's why I'm starting Aubameyang. So if I start Lacazette, he might come too deep. And these two on the wide are a little bit clueless at times. And there's going to be no fluidity. So that's why I would play Aubameyang down the top. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I think up front is going to be Aubameyang, Saka, and Martinelli. That's what I think is going to be up front. But I would change it around. So yeah, people, listen, some crazy stuff. Crazy. Listen, you would have played, and it's quite funny because Curtis tells you similar stories as well. And you would have played in football, whether it's Power League, whether it's whatever, where you get frustrated. My anger, my frustration, my lack of control was on the football pitch. And sometimes, even still now, after philosophy, reading, religion now, Calm, personal development channel, even now, when I play vets at my age, I can lose it sometimes. And then I have to quickly remind myself, Fran, listen, you're 41. You're trying to live a different life. You need to control these emotions. Stop losing control. So when I was younger, it was crazy. And some of you would have been exactly the same, where you get really, really angry. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but I've been sent off in training 3 times. In training. I've been sent off in training 3 times. So I've been told I was uncoachable, unmanageable. So listen, it's to get sent off in training is something else. That's for sure. That is for sure. But it's just emotions. It is really, really emotions. And that's why Guendouzi and people like that, I like that. But it's modern day. It's modern day football, people. It is modern day football. Sent off in training. Not once. I've been sent off in training 3 times. 3 times. Oh, just honestly. It's not something I'm proud of, people. But when you're younger, you do crazy things, don't you? When you're younger, absolute story times, mate. Story time, which I will talk about a lot more on my other channel. But I'm a little bit more serious on there, and we're trying to detail because I want that to help the community. But then, listen, you'll get to know more as you sign up for the end. If you've not already got on the other channel, make sure you do it because there's some gems in there. There is some gems, but it's a lot more laid back. Yeah, red card in training, absolutely crazy. It must be my yard genes, honestly. It must be that the anger. I was always angry. Never understood why I was always angry. Always angry I was. It was the world's fault. It's impressive to get sent off in training 3 times in your career, honestly. David, a little bit off topic, but Ollie didn't know how to use Sancho in the right way because he didn't play the style of play that gets the most out of the players. Arteta uses Pepe like never because Arteta has not a good style of play. I believe so. I just think he's not his type of player. Really don't believe he's just his type of player. And unfortunately, that happens in the game of football. It really does. It happens in the game of football where you may sign a player and it's just not going to work. It happens all the time. We see it. We see it, people. We really do. But my prediction for tomorrow is big shout out to Marshall saying Green Man has become one of my favorite channels, loving the content. It's great. Like you say, we might get 1 subscriber a day, but I'm sure eventually it's very valuable, so it will help. It's very chilled, and as you know, I like my teas on there. So we will see how many people we can get. But 2022 people, not just for me, but I wish everybody in the community go out and chase what you are chasing and take risks, because this week's video on Green Man is going to be about time, and we don't have time because we don't know how long time is going to be, people. We do not have time. Go out, make those steps, and do what you want to do. Just do what you want to do. Regardless, take risks. Don't worry. I know it's hard for me. It's hard for people to understand that. Try not to. Just go and do what you've got to do. Honestly, people, I can't. I'm clenching my fist because I just need to get that message out there. I really do. But my score prediction is 3-1. 3-1, people. I'm going to go for a 3-1. I think Aubameyang's going to score. I really do. And I think Ødegaard will keep his good form up. Whether he score, I'm not there. But I'm going to go for a 3-1. I think we'll concede. Even though we've not conceded many goals at home at all, I think we'll concede. Don't know why. Something's telling me that. I think we'll have our confidence has been hit a little bit. But I do believe that we'll win 3-1. That is for sure. Give me your predictions quickly, people. Give me your predictions, what you think is going to happen tomorrow. Again, I am doing the Peterborough game tomorrow, so look out for that vlog. They're at home. It's the first home game that I've done this year, so let's hope that they get a win and Arsenal get a win. And what a weekend it will be. Son's birthday, Arsenal get a win, Peterborough get a win, Christmas spectacular on church on a Sunday. And I hope each and every one of you have a great weekend. I mean, that would be the perfect weekend just before the festive season, wouldn't it be? Oh, Jack's coming in and Jack's trying to ruin my vibe. He's saying, I could see a 2-2. Come on, Jack, come on. Even if you see it, just keep it 2-1 at the moment. Come on. BX Gunner is saying 2-1. Rashid is saying, I was delaying at starting a small business, but I finally made the first step and ordered inventory. Got to take risks, might fail, but I don't want to live with regret. Listen, when you're talking about fail, I have failed away from football ridiculous amounts of times. Ridiculous. Down to not putting the effort in, down to listening to other people, down to not being in my heart, down to not knowing what I'm doing. Take the risk. Just take the risk. Because you say you do not want regrets. You know, I'm just going to... In fact, I'm not going to go there. I'll leave that for another time. So, happy birthday to your son. Listen, appreciate that. The blessings and the super chats today from the community has been unbelievable. I cannot thank you enough. Unbelievable. You are amazing. And I mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Absolutely amazing for the kindness that you're sharing. And that's what it's all about, sharing the love. Jack's changed his mind 2-1. Yes, Jack, positivity works. Marshall. No. By the way, the profile pic's great. Forgot what it's called. Pokemon. My son's got it downstairs. Forgot what the for the vibes 2-1. For the vibes, people. Josie's put Abba is in a hole. If he had a chance to give him advice, what would you tell him? I'd just tell him that it's only temporary. It's not permanent. It's only temporary. It is not permanent. And you can't feel sorry for yourself. Bulba. That's it. Bulba. Respect, Fran. Lord knows how many times I failed and now I'm a physician. There you go. Big shout out. Listen. Interesting. Physician. Big shout out. Respect, Fran. Respect to you. Jack is also saying, I think 2-0, but it will be extremely convincing. And Nayamari's put, bring him on for his birthday. He's at school now. Can't bring him on. He's at school. I would take the risk and follow my dream. Life is too short. And hopefully in the future, I can tell you about the journey. There you go. Listen, even if you fail, I tell my son, you're going to lose, and my daughters, a lot more than you're going to win. But when you win, it's worth everything. And I'm not, people think it's all about financial. I'm not talking about financial numbers and gain. What about in life? How you wake up and you feel excited and you feel happy and you get joy. Every single day, you're winning. Regardless of everything else, you are winning just by feeling that. Okay? So when we finish your stream, just go and smile. Go and say hello to someone. Go and cuddle your kids, kiss your wife, send your girlfriend a text message. Just something, and it'll make you feel $1 million, people. It really, really will. David is saying, happy birthday to your son. Allow him to grow to a living legend. Blessings. Bring him on for ABBA. We'll get him up top. This is interesting because this is a subject that I like. I recently started a podcast and it's soul destroying when not a lot of people engage with the channel. Any advice much needed. A big respect for your philosophical mindset. Stoic. Hey, well, listen, there you go. That's the one, people. You can't even see that. That's the one. What is today? Listen, I'm not going to bore you. I could be here all day. Here we are. 10th. We know the 10th. It's the Lord's favourite number. 10th. Here we are, people. So, I won't bore you on this one. What is it? Don't sell yourself too cheaply. People spend a lot more money when they use credit cards than when they have to pull out actual cash. Interesting. We all do that. If you ever wondered why credit card companies and banks push cards so aggressively, this is why. The more credit cards you have, the more you'll spend. Interesting. That's what that one. Anyway, it's not related to that, but just keep going, people. Just keep going. I see stories all the time about YouTube channels get 100,000 subscribers in the first year. And I'm like, is it because we're located in England and these channels are located in America? And a podcast apparently is a lot harder than YouTube. A lot harder. But my advice would just be, it will gain momentum. Just keep going. It will gain momentum. And if you love it, don't see it as work. Just keep doing what you got to do. Just keep doing what you've got to do. Big shout out for starting it and take the time. Just patient. The patient are rewarded. The patient are rewarded. 1-1. Marshall's saying, you could be a really good coach, Fran. I know. I am coaching. We're coaching you lot. We're coaching you lot. And Nayamari saying, was a doctor in Kenya, left that for opportunities in the US. It changed my life. Take risks and family. There you go, people. Right, people, I'm going to have to go because we could be there all day. You know, I could be here all day. I appreciate each and every one of you, as always. Blessings from the Lord, from me to you. Thank you for the super chat. Enjoy the weekend. Champions are made on a Friday. And I will see you all probably, maybe on Sunday. If not, because I'm a busy day, maybe it will be on the Monday. But look out in the community chat. Follow the Twitter if not. Sometimes I put stuff on the Twitter. I'm not massively active on Twitter. And welcome the new members. And again, thank you for the super chat. I am out. Blessings again to each and every one of you. And I will see you later. You take care.